She lost 40 pounds, managed her PCOS, went from irregular, painful periods to on-time periods with little to no pain, managed her PMDD. This was Mackenzie's experience working with me for 9 months in one-on-one coaching. This week's episode of It's Bailey is going into my beautiful client Mackenzie's testimonial and story. Let's get straight into things. Welcome, Mackenzie, to the podcast. I appreciate you being here so much to talk about your journey inside of coaching. I thought we would hop right into things. If you just want to explain where you were before starting coaching with me, what your health looked like, what your symptoms looked like, go as much into it as you would like to.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. I started my PCOS weight loss journey in a very, very horrible feeling place. In I would say like early 2020, even maybe before that, the timeline's a little fuzzy because it was so long ago. I got diagnosed with PCOS because I gained weight so rapidly in a short amount of time. I think it was like close to 60 pounds, like so randomly. So I was gaining weight really, really fast. I was very bloated. I was in pain from the weights. I felt very, I had foggy brain so much. My energy levels were so low. I would go to the doctor. My cholesterol was through the roof. My um, periods were a whole nother struggle story. I had such painful, irregular periods. I would do like 1 month having a period, 1 month not having a period, or 2 months not having a period. Then when I would get them, they would be like so heavy, so painful, where I would like I fainted one time because of the pain. I threw up one time because of the pain. Like the pain was insane. So I had all of these symptoms, and yeah, it was horrible, but the story has a happy ending, don't worry. It was um, but and to me, like back then I was just so used to living that way. I didn't even realize that like something was really wrong because you grow up not being taught anything about your cycle or how a woman's body works or what PCOS even is. And of course, I was told, which you talk about a lot, when I first got diagnosed with PCOS, they were like, "Oh, just lose weight and like then you'll be healthy." But they didn't look at my hormones. They didn't take anything that you took into account. So if that makes sense, but
Oh, it does. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you want to explain kind of Mackenzie lost 40 pounds, which is incredible. But I'd love for you to explain before you lost the weight. I know when you came to me, you said, you tried this, you tried that. So I'd love for you to explain to everyone kind of like the different things your doctors had you do, maybe different medications or different things you tried to lose the weight that maybe you did short term, but you'd gain it back. If you want to talk more about that, that'd be great.
yeah, for sure. That's a huge part of my journey that I honestly just forget about because I was trying so many different things back to back that I was just trying to get it over with and like not look at the root cause of anything. I was just trying to put band-aids on things and think that would work, right? But right when I first got diagnosed with PCOS, I was 16 and I got put on phetamine and Topamax, which made my anxiety race. Of course, I lost weight, but it was my periods still were horrible. My acne got really bad. I was put on birth control as well. So I was on like all these pharmaceuticals that made my mood insane. It made me very skinny, but only for a few months because I was miserable on all those pills. I stopped taking them and then I gained all the way back, of course. So I did that for a while and
So it's
then
not a very sustainable long-term solution.
it was, and especially to be like so young putting on those, but anyone taking that stuff, it's not long-term solution whatsoever. You can't just be doing that the rest of your life. Like that's just horrible for you. So I did those pills and then I was on metformin only for a long time. And then but that didn't do much like at all. My
And that's
period.
the medication that I feel like a lot of doctors throw women with PCOS on metformin, which
Oh
like maybe for some women it helps them again while they're taking the medication, but unless they're like fixing the root cause behind the scenes, when they're done taking the medication, they're going to deal with all the problems they were dealing with prior.
Yeah, like for me, it literally just made me nauseous and constipated, and nothing changed. I was like, okay.
I appreciate you being honest.
Like I of course, always. But so I did that, and then I even went on. I did. I forgot. I did a form of Monjaro, which is like an Ozempic shot.
Hmm.
They all kind of work the same. Again, I lost a bunch of weight on that, but like I'm stabbing myself with a needle every week, making myself miserable.
And it's not long. You can't be on that long term either.
No, like it suppressed my appetite so bad that I wasn't even eating right for like a normal human. Like I wasn't meeting any nutrition goals whatsoever that I needed to, or nutritional needs, basic needs. Um, so I lost a bunch of weight on that, and then of course I wanted to stop that because I felt nauseous and it just had horrible symptoms with it. So I stopped that, and then I gained all the way back again. And I was like, you know what? I have done every single band-aid you could possibly imagine, and nothing has worked. I'm tired of all the fake shit. Sorry, can I cuss?
Yes, you can
Okay,
swear.
cool. I'm tired of all the fake shit. And I was at the time like, this was this time last year, so like last spring. I was like, you know what? I've been following Bailey for years now. She talks about everything that I need and everything that I'm experiencing. And she's saying like I've never got my hormones tested at this point either. So I was like, you know what? What if I just get my hormones tested? I go all in with her and I just give this a shot. And it's literally the best I've ever felt ever in my life. So
And
no
you've
big
had such
deal.
an incredible, smooth, massive transformation. And we're going to get into that in a second. There's two things I want to touch on before that. First thing, kind of backtracking to the GLP-1, just for so people know. And I know when you took it, you were maybe a little bit younger. And this, so you may know this, you may not know this, but like Ozempic or GLP-1 medications are extremely expensive too. Like they for most people, insurance usually doesn't cover it. It really depends on who the person is, but like can range $600 to $1,000 a month. And that's like a very expensive price to pay for months on end just to probably gain the weight back, unless that person is like doing things behind the scene to like help their insulin resistance and help them lose weight naturally. That's like a huge price tag for a medication that possibly too like may mess up your gut health, etc. So I wanted to touch on that. And then I'd love to hear kind of like your process of why you decided to work with me over maybe other things or other coaches or other practitioners or other things that you saw online.
Yeah, I've been following you for years. I actually found you because you randomly showed up on my TikTok for you page, and
Ah,
it
love
you
that.
love TikTok. I saw you talking about PCOS and all the symptoms and like solutions for it, and that was right when I got diagnosed with PCOS. So I was like, oh, funny. Um, and then I saw that you knew what you were talking about. You were very confident and you had all the information and all the science to back it up and the results to back it up too. Like um so I followed you, and I followed you for a while before I uh considered working one-on-one with you. I mean, I've always wanted to. I actually started working with you in business first because that's how much I
Mhm.
trusted you, and yeah, you showed up like you knew your shit. I've always told you that. You know your shit. You have the
I
results
do.
to back it up. Yeah. You have the clients to back it up that have success stories, and you yourself are a success story. And you're very real. Like you're very real about what the process is going to be like, and if you need to take, not need, but like feel good with supplements, it's going to be temporary, but like some people do need that, or like you do work with like people who also know their shit. Like you've done the studying, you've done the school, you've learned from great people. So it was a lot of things. It was your personality and how funny and nice and upbeat and positive and confident you are, but it was also
Oh, thank you. Just feeding my ego.
you're so welcome any day. But yeah, you knew your shit, and that was really refreshing because all the doctors, which they were doctors technically, but they didn't help me. So it's like, but
Mhm.
they told me all this stuff that I needed to do and take and all these solutions, but they never told me why. And every time I'd ask why, they would be like, well, to lose weight or like because of this reason. And it just made no sense and it didn't have the results to back it up. So yeah, it's pretty logical decision in my brain. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And obviously there are good doctors out there, and I'm always so honest with my clients. I'm not a doctor, but one thing I really dislike is people who don't have the doctor title. This is really just by like the Karens in my comments mostly. But like, you're not a doctor. I think they forget that people who are like certified personal trainers and nutritionists and hormone coaches can also help people. You just can't like diagnose and prescribe. But a lot of Western medicine doctors, I mean, they're taught to treat with medication. So they are doing their job in the sense they tried to treat you with medication. They're not taught how to like treat and help through nutrition, through fitness, through holistic practices, unless it's like a naturopathic doctor or like an Eastern medicine doctor. And it's just unfortunate because that's like all that they go to school for so long just to treat with medication, which is a temporary solution, truly. Obviously there's some good doctors out there, but so many of my clients have been like burned by doctor time and time again. We're refused testing. We're refused any solution. I say that it's not a solution. Ban birth control, metformin, GLP-1. Or they're told, like I was told, come back when you want to get pregnant. And I'm like, why will I only get help if I want to get pregnant? What if I don't want kids ever? Like your period and your hormones matter so much, and ovulation, even if you don't want to have children ever.
Right.
So that was a little tangent, but thank you for that. And then I would love to go into where you're at now, and we're gonna kind of, I'm looking off to my notes, kind of go down the line. So, starting with Mackenzie had obviously like irregular periods, bouts of missing periods. Where are your periods now in the sense of regularity? After two, I wanted to know, Mackenzie started working with me July of last year. So that is 9 months. So in July of last year, into now, where are your periods now?
Yeah, so that's funny. July last year was the worst period I've ever had in my life. So this is a very black and white transition. Like I am so different now. I'm on my last day of my period right now, so we're bleeding all right now live. Um,
Actually,
but
I'm on the last day of mine too.
oh my God, that's so
That's
fun.
okay. And actually, what's funny is, yes, like when you think your period's done and you're like, don't need to use like a tampon pad, my period's done, it's on the low end, and then it like comes back kind of like for a day.
Mhm.
Mine kind of came back today, for like that last day, so it was meant to be.
That's for me. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so I can really tell you where I'm at now because I just am finishing a period. So I will say the week before my period was also miserable. Used to be miserable.
Mhm.
I would be so tired, crying all day. That's not even an exaggeration. Crying all day long, anxiety and panic attacks. I would be so stressed. Now, the week before my period, so last week, I just like took a few extra naps and like that's all I needed. Like that's literally it. And I was happy and positive and I don't like break out anymore before my periods. Like obviously my skin's very
Skin
clear.
looks perfect.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so my skin is way better, obviously. You can see that. I am not as tired and drained. I can still do like daily activities without like needing to be in bed all day, like depressed, like for real. Um, I have happy, thriving relationships because I'm able to like emotionally process like a normal human instead of having a week-long breakdown. Um, I I don't have like raging cramps that cripple my ability to walk anymore. I actually this period maybe had literally, I'm not even exaggerating, I took no medication. I literally had like one cramp. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. And I'm so happy because people need to hear this. Like, I know when my periods were so painful, and I'm sure for you too, like where you literally couldn't walk, like curled up in a ball. If someone said it's possible for you to have completely pain-free periods or like minimal cramps, which is like minimal cramps, like that is normal. But it's like
Yeah.
if someone told me that without medication, like I would say that they're bullshitting to like make money and it wasn't true. But like it is so possible. So I'm really happy that you brought that up.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So yeah, I'm having little to no cramps, and I also my periods I tell you this all the time, literally come on the 32nd day every single month now for the past like
Yeah.
4 or 5 months.
And
Yes.
before, guys, they were like missing or like 45 days or 45-day cycle or longer. So that is great.
Yes. And my period app nowadays literally says it used to say like I use Avia, so it'll track like trends, and it used to say like 45 days cycle long. That's very uncommon, like warning sign. And now it says normal 33 days. It says
Woo!
common, you're good. And it just changed the other day. I was like, yes, we did it.
We
Um,
did. That is so
so,
exciting.
yeah.
I'm
So
so happy for you. It's like all your like PMDD, painful periods, irregular periods, like they all flipped. They all reversed.
yeah, and it's actually mind blowing how not easy because it took work and it took like a change of lifestyle 100%, but
Mhm.
that's all it is. And like you feel better after, like you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars or like torture yourself with medication. Like it's truly just normal human things that you have to do, like move more, eat better. Like it's more complicated than that, obviously, but like it was fun. It was like good for me. And like it's mind blowing the difference, seriously.
And in like less than a year, that is incredible, especially when you were like plagued with these symptoms for much longer than that. And exactly, like I don't have my clients doing any, I mean, you can speak on this too, but like no crazy restrictive diets. No, you need to cut out this, that, and whatever. You can't eat gluten, dairy, sugar, unless like some of my clients might have to do some elimination, but it's either temporary or they have like an allergy, but like no super low calories, no cutting out this, that, and whatever, no stressful, crazy routines. Like I feel like I very much pride myself. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I see a client's symptoms and also like their functional hormone test, which all my clients have access to if you live in the USA or Canada. And like I can see what's wrong and I can pinpoint they need to do this, that, and whatever. Obviously, they have me to like help them through it, coach them through it, look at their food, help them with their workouts, etc. But like I am really good at like seeing what's wrong and having like a simple step-by-step plan for my clients to get really good results. And I think sometimes people are overwhelmed because they're like, I'm gonna have to take a million supplements. I'm gonna have to eat a super restrictive, only whole food diet, can never have ice cream again, can never have a drink again. I have to work out every single day and like this, that, and whatever. And like it's obviously you can attest it's not that at all.
No, like that's everyone around me and my family. Like I'm at my dad's house right now, and even they're like, "How did you do it? How did you do it?" Because they're like everyone around me, and I'm sure people listening can attest to this as well. You're so used to like hardcore diets that like don't work, and like you do it for a month, and obviously it's not sustainable, so you stop and then gain the weight back. Like it's much easier to make a habit out of being consistent with like natural everyday habits than like putting yourself through that torture over and over again. Like I'd rather make a habit out of moving and work in strength training and like eating more protein and like you know what I mean? Like instead
Mhm.
of doing that, it was yeah. So
It's all lifestyle changes because if it's not a lifestyle change, they will, like people
right.
watching this, like they will gain the weight back. Their periods will get painful again. They'll have irregular periods again. So I'm really happy to hear that. And then obviously you lost around 40 pounds, which is absolutely incredible. And that was even too in like less than a nine month period. So I'd love to hear just, I don't know, any feedback or thoughts you have on that part of your transformation.
Yeah, I think it's motivating to me to lose weight, yes, but I went into it being like I want to feel better, I want to like feel better about myself, I want to like live a better life, and with that came losing weight, which is really cool. So yeah, I the first like few months I started actually like getting in the gym more, which I feel like the once you start like moving more, weight starts to just fall off me. I mean, if you go through I went months without doing anything, like just sitting all day working and not walking, not strength training, not nothing, anything. So right when I started moving, the weight just started falling off. And then when I started to not eat less or be restrictive, but when I started focusing on what I'm eating, like more protein and like staying away from foods that like obviously don't make me feel good, like bunch of processed foods and like a lot of sugar. Like that's, I mean, not that you can't ever have that because I certainly still do eat that stuff and I still lost weight, but it's not like an everyday thing anymore, you know?
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, implementing like again, consistent, stable, like human lifestyle changes, the weight just fell off and I feel like obviously like literally lighter, but like my mood is better, like I'm not in any pain, like I can like go on a run without like dying, you know, like my fitness is like better. So yeah, it's insane how much weight I lost. I mean, that was really cool. It is really cool. I'm still losing weight, so
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
And the key is like in a sustainable way where you're not
Yeah.
miserable. Because I know like we've had conversations too of, I feel like I have a conversation like this with all my clients of like really working through that all or nothing mentality of you are conditioned to think I either am living the lifestyle of like no movement, eating whatever, fast food all the time, sugar every day, or the complete opposite. Never
Yes.
going out to eat, like doing like a sugar cleanse, not eating sweets, never going to McDonald's, never getting a Domino's pizza. And people like that is not sustainable. Like maybe short term where people will drop a bunch of weight, but it is not sustainable. And especially if like the way you lose the weight is the way you're gonna have to sustain the fat loss. So if what you're doing to lose the
Right.
weight isn't, you can't see yourself doing it long term to maintain that weight loss, then you're gonna gain the weight back. So I remember even we had a conversation with all my clients. I have a conversation of like, you can still have like your weekly ice cream. You can still have like your weekly cocktail, your weekly pizza. That is fine. It just can't, obviously, it's like balance is always a key and is what people struggle with the most. Like it cannot be all or nothing. Like when you reside in the middle, that is where you'll have like sustainable progress. And I feel like you looking at, nutrition, starting working with me in nutrition now, like I feel like you really have that down well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because I that's what I was trying to explain earlier is the diet thing. People think it's so all or nothing, and that's why they're stuck in that like like losing weight then gaining it again. And yeah, I feel like now I'm eating really well, but I still like have sweet treats now and then, and I don't like gain weight from that. Like there's such a balance to be had, and it's more freedom and less pressure on yourself. And I'm just literally happier with that lifestyle instead of like the black and the all or nothing thing, you know?
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm trying to think if I have any other questions regarding fat loss. I really don't think so. Your progress photos were amazing and you kicked ass and I am so proud of you. So, and literally your everything went, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because I feel like I will attest, I feel like I'm really good at getting people good results and like you had great results. Because like your PCOS, would you consider it mostly managed at this point then? Like not really dealing with many of your PCOS symptoms anymore?
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that. I could cry. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, I'm on my period. Don't make me cry.
But it
No,
is like you don't really
but
like I know you're still, obviously on a fat loss journey still, but like you don't have the classic
yeah.
PCOS symptoms anymore. Like you have the regular periods. Your periods are more pain-free. You have like a happier, stable, more, mood before your period. You aren't struggling to lose weight. Like all the classic, your skin's clear, like all the classic PCOS symptoms, you don't really have anymore. So
No,
like
you're
you can
right.
kind of like take that out of your identity, you know?
Yeah, I could, couldn't I? Yeah, I
Yes.
totally. Yeah, and I'm still like on our last call, one-on-one call, we made like a little 2 month like plan for me to be a little bit more of a caloric deficit because I want to lose more fat and gain more muscle and like all that. But I literally can do that on my own now. And
Yes.
the reason I kicked ass is because I listened to what you told me to do, you know, like I took you very seriously and I took your knowledge very seriously. Like you tell me this is going to work, I trust you because you've created results because of that and I'm seeing them in myself too. So, yeah, anyone, I'm just saying, anyone who wants to work one on one, like if you do what she tells you to do, you're going to be great.
Thank you. That actually goes into my last question. It's going to be kind of a two-in-one. Is there anything you specifically like loved about coaching or the process of things? And then what would you tell someone who's maybe like listening to this, they're on the fence of working with me, trying to make like a decision if they should or not.
Wait, the first part was what was my favorite part?
Favorite part of coaching?
Okay. So, okay, my favorite part of coaching. Hmm. I think my favorite part of coaching, not that for me personally, I didn't like, I mean, of course I used your support, but I liked the comfort of knowing that if I had any questions, if I was struggling with anything, if I just needed like a friend to tell me I'm like pretty, that I could message you and you would be there for me. Like you're not in the journey alone anymore. Like you're not the only one with PCOS in this scenario. Like I'm working with someone who's been through what I've been through. Well, not exactly, but like
Similar,
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So my favorite part was definitely just like having you by my side. It sounds so cheesy, but it's true. So I liked having you as support. That was the best. And I loved that you did. I know this is two things, but I love that you did hormone testing because I've never had that before. And it was so easy to just spit in a tube and then like be told what's like going on with me and then having that
Mhm.
literally fixed and then we got results back and they were fixed. Like I could just see with my eyeballs the science behind what we're doing. So that was really cool too.
And
Um,
something I'm gonna quick before I forget. Mackenzie did two hormone tests and we compared them side by side, and it was really cool because we could see literally like how our hormones balance, which was great. But continue on.
yeah, insane. It was so cool. And I think what I want to say to anyone who's on the fence of doing a program like yours, I think we touch on it a lot, but think about the pros and cons. Like it's better than if it doesn't work, fine. But if it does, which you like it always does, like I'm literally living, breathing, walking proof that it does, your life is just going to be so much better. Like it's kind of a no-brainer to me. Why would you spend your money on stuff that hasn't worked? Or even if you're not spending money on anything, why would you continue to live a life that you're just not happy in with health and your body and the way you feel when you can just invest in something that'll change your life forever? Like it's just so not like a no-brainer to me. So um
True.
yeah, you can easily it makes no sense not to if you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your story and being vulnerable. And because I know not everyone obviously wants to share, you know, about their period and this, that, and whatever. So I really appreciate you coming on. And because like this, women will see this and they will join and change their health forever. And like you are being a part of that right now. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the pod and chit chat about this. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God, of course. I love you so much.
I love you. And that is Mackenzie's life-changing story. And I truly mean it when I say life-changing because she took her PCOS, her regular periods, her weight gain, all of her symptoms. She took them into her own hands. She got the help she needed, aka me, and she turned every single one of those symptoms around in less than a year. And that is going to be your experience when you join one-on-one coaching. If you are watching this episode, you get a special promotion for 25% off one-on-one coaching when you join by May 1st. When you go to my application, I'll pop a little photo of what it looks like. Make sure to click that you came from my podcast. It's Bailey. And then when I message you and we chat about you joining coaching, we will apply the 25% off. Thank you, ladies, for listening, and we'll talk next Monday.